What up, guys? Welcome to the Pullback Effects weekly analysis. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of live sessions anymore because I'm going to be quite busy this month, but I will be replacing them for these weekly analysis. So if there's any market that you want me to go ahead and overview or take a look at, make sure to drop your suggestions each week on our Telegram channel or our Instagram page, okay? I will be selecting 2 pairs from each source to make an analysis. And besides that, I'll add a pair of my own, okay? So for this week's analysis, I'm going to start with my pair of choosing, which is EURUSD. The other 2 Telegram channels or suggestions that I'm going to be choosing is GBPUSD and what was that other one? AUDUSD, okay? And from the Instagram page, I will be choosing the 2 suggestions of corn futures. That's going to be in the futures market and the pair GBPAUD. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with the EURUSD analysis. I'm quite bullish for EURUSD, okay? We're currently had a reversal down here, had a really nice move to the upside, minor retracement, and another large move to the upside, right? So if you guys take a look, we might be heading up to this liquidity above these highs. And I've also outlined with a red line the bottom of the bodies of this consolidation that we see up here, okay? So essentially what I would like to see for EURUSD is not really have any much of a retracement and pop above this liquidity and possibly test the consolidation that we see here, okay? That's going to be my short-term objective. We might see a continuation or we might see a deeper retracement, okay? If we are under this high, I don't want to see much of a retracement. I want to see a retracement possibly at the most around this level, testing this area of consolidation here, and rally up to test the bottom end of this consolidation, okay? But if we do break this high, then I would possibly expect a larger consolidation down into around the liquidity under these lows. And then I would still be bullish there. But if we trade anything lower in a closing basis of the 1.18, let's say 20 level, we'll round that up. So if we close any lower of 1.1820, then I will no longer be bullish and not look to see for these longer objectives that I have on the upside. But if we do in fact have a retracement after breaking this high, we have any long-term retracement, either to this level if we haven't tested it yet, or the liquidity under these lows, we might see a higher continuation to seek the liquidity above these highs, okay? I would look to see that to be tested, possibly the 1.20 level here that we have. Okay, we could round that down to a big figure. Okay, we might see that as an objective. And if we really start getting really bullish, then we might see some of this range be closing in, testing the consolidation that we have here as well. Okay, so that would be EURUSD. Let's go to the first suggestion in the Telegram, which was GBPUSD, which will be pretty similar, right? I don't really expect much of a retracement down. If we do retrace, we might see pretty much the same, right? At the most, somewhere around this area in here where we have an imbalance, or testing just the high of this candle. And I still want to see a continuation to the upside, right? I want at least this liquidity. Okay, we have liquidity in the form of double tops in here. So I want to see that tested before we actually have any large retracement, right? If we do test this, then a large retracement could be expected, which could be in the form of this imbalance in here. Or we might not even retrace that much and only close this imbalance in here. I rather would see it retrace just to this imbalance than coming all the way down here, okay? If we do come all the way down here and we closed under 37.80, then we're going to be a bit bearish for quite a while until we seek the liquidity under these double bottoms here. Okay, but until then, I will still remain bullish on the short term and midterm, and also a little bit on the long term, but my bias won't change bearish from bullish to bearish until we close under 37.80. Okay, on the upside objective, once we trade above these equal highs and if we see any more upside, I would be targeting this liquidity and possibly a test on this low here. Okay, then after that, we might see another major retracement. And then ultimately, we might be testing the consolidation here. Okay, all this consolidation, or even break above that consolidation and start looking for higher objectives. Okay, so that is my view for GBPUSD. Let's go now for the other suggestion in Telegram, which was AUDUSD. AUDUSD, I mean, we're pretty much sticking with our bullish bias since they're all foreign pairs to the dollar or paired with the dollar. I do not want to see that much of a retracement either. If we do, we might see this imbalance closing in. Upside objective would be this high here in the form of liquidity. And we might get up to these equal highs as well and close in a bit of this imbalance, tapping on the low end of this consolidation here. Okay, so upside objectives for AUDUSD. Don't really want to see a break under these lows. If we do, we might head down to around just a grab of liquidity to head higher. Probably not much, probably to just a 74 big figure, or at the most to the 37.80 or 73.80 or 73.75 level, right? We start closing under that, then we might be a more long-term or mid-term bearish into this area in here, which would be our 0.7220 level. Okay, but for this week, I want to see more upside into trying to attack these equal highs that we have up here and testing the consolidation that we have here. Okay, now moving on to our Instagram suggestions. We'll go ahead and stick to the Forex market still with GBPAUD. And with this pair, I also want to see it head up to the upside. As you guys can see, we actually opened up with the gap up. We already came down and pretty much closed in the gap and rallied away from it. So I don't really want to see that low being taken out anymore. If we do take out the low from this 4-hour candle, which is the market opening candle, we might see a drop down into the 1.8450 level and possibly test this down candle. If we start heading down under 38.80, we might see these equal lows being taken out and these lows as well. But I want to stay bullish with this pair. I really don't want to see much of a retracement. I want to see it head up all the way for an objective of 1.88 big figure level. Okay, we rounded down to the zero levels. That's pretty much the objective that I want to forecast for this week. We might go all the way up to 88.60 or so. With, again, not much of retracements. I want to see this pair really start having some bullish some bullish momentum to the upside. Then again, if we do take out this high, right, we have quite a momentum to the upside. Then we might see a major retracement, taking out this low for liquidity, and then just heading up higher. But right now, I'd rather see this high being taken out before this low is taken out. After this high is taken out, then we might see this low be taken out to have a further continuation to the upside. But do not want to see a lot of retracement down. If we do close below this area in here, which you guys can see, it's kind of a consolidation around there. If we exclude this down movement, we do start coming under that, then like I said, we'll see these lows being taken out and probably these equal lows as well. And lastly, let's move to the futures market with corn. So glad you guys mentioned corn, because I wasn't paying much attention until you guys talked about this pair or suggested this asset. And by looking at it, I really want to see this start heading up to the upside and attacking these equal highs up here and these equal highs here, right? There's a lot of liquidity that was pulled above those highs. So I want to see upside movement. As you guys see, corn market isn't open yet. So I would like, and I believe we might see a gap up open on this, this asset class. And after that gap up, I really just want to see it just keep on continuing up. If we do come down, then we might just sweep below this low or probably test the 54 level, right? The 504 with the 0.2. So we might see that as a downside objective still, but I'd rather see upside, right? We just taken a lot of liquidity down here, but it might need to trade a little bit lower to take out a bit more of that liquidity. And we might do it as a gap down. So if we do gap down, which is another scenario that we might see just to take liquidity under this low here. If we do gap down, I want to see it with kind of like with velocity, wanting to close in that gap and trade to it and through it, right? If we do gap down, we want to expect price rally above that gap and keep a continuation to the upside above this high, and then obviously above these equal highs up here. So I would be really bullish with with corn. If we see a gap up, then we probably might just close in the gap and keep on rallying up. But my bias is also bullish for the corn futures, which I would really like to see. And I most likely will be taking a trade on my 500 to 5K challenge with the corn futures. So if you don't follow that yet, you could follow that with the login details that I have on the last post on my Instagram page, okay? But with that said, that will be all for this weekly analysis. Might do one midweek, who knows? If not, I'll see you guys again until Sunday next week with more suggestions of what markets you would like me to look at. Okay, with that said, hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time.